that is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yeah, yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Hello and welcome. Hope you're all okay, and thank you very much for coming over and watching another Sunday lunchtime live. So thanks for coming over. As always, it's hashtag week, first weekend of the month, and this month, what's it going to be? Ooh, people think it's going to be an Easter project, but is it? Isn't it? Well, time will tell. So anyway, as you may or may not realise, this is not a live, this is a video or a premiere or whatever you want to call it. So I'm sorry I can't be in the chat, but at this present moment I am doing a demonstration for North Norfolk Woodworkers Club up in Yorkshire, or Thirst if you want to, if you're there. Hopefully some of you guys have come over and said hello. If you have, then thank you very much for that. And as always, thank you for your continued support. Other than that, guys, I'm here. I've done this video for the hashtag week. I like to be here live doing it, obviously, but unfortunately this time I can't. So I thought I'd do a video. So what's the hashtag going to be? So it's going to be something a little bit more difficult than we normally do. We're trying to make it a little bit more technical this year. So this month's hashtag is two-piece turning. So this could be anything from a pot, a vase, no, not a vase, a pot, a candlestick holder, a lidded bowl, anything that takes two pieces to make a piece. Does that make sense? Two pieces to make a piece. Or there's two items to the piece. Yeah, that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a candlestick, because I haven't made a candlestick for ages. So I'm just going to do a simple candlestick. This is going to be the entire length of me making a candlestick. I'm not going to edit it. It's going to be the entire length it takes me. So I'm not going to go over an hour and a half, which is what I normally do in my lives. So if you're in the chat, then please talk to each other, encourage each other. And as always, if you want to send your pieces over to me, then please do. 2 weeks from today. So the date today will be the 5th of March. So if you could get your pictures over to me by the 17th of March, that gives me a couple of days to get them all together and get a montage together to show it on the 19th. So if you'd like to send your pictures over, then as always, send them over to skkrafts@btinternet.com. Right, so let's get on with it. Obviously, no Nikki in the background to read out the chat, so let's just get on with it. I'm going to do a simple vase, but like I said, it's going to be from start to finish, no editing, no cutting, no whatever. And then whether we're going to get any colour or not, I'm not sure. I might just colour it with one colour, but we'll do something as we can. So I'm not going to go over an hour and a half, so sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Right, so I have a piece of wood here. It is 50 or 49mm by 49mm by 186mm long. Going to use this as my main piece of the vase, not vase, candlestick. So I'm just going to center this off from corner to corner. And then we're going to get this mounted between centers. And then what we're going to do is we are going to quickly round this off and make our main part of our what do you call it, candlestick holder. So between centers, and then what we'll do is we'll get a tenon on there, so making sure we're secure. Got it between centers. First thing we're going to do is round it off. So we'll round it off quickly. So we're not quite round yet, by the looks of it. Just got a little tiny bit there to go. So we'll just move in our tool post a little bit. So there we have it round. So hopefully that's going to hold in our jaws. Oh, it might be a bit small for those jaws, but we will try. Can't, and we'll get the SC2 out. So let's just take that out there. See if we can nip this up. Oh, yep, we might be good. Get the shape on it, so that'll be our head. And then we'll bring it down to about there somewhere. Part it off there. So this will be, like this area here will be our tenon that's going to go into our other piece, and then we'll do some fancy detail. I'd like to try and put a ball in the middle and then feather it out, but we'll see what happens. But first things first, we'll get the spindle gouge and we'll start getting rid of some of this waste in here. So design change means that that bit's just broken out. So a slight design change. So I think I should have hollowed that out a little bit before I got carried away, but it is what it is. So we're going to get that sanded up, I think. Actually, let's try and just take the centre of this out first and see if we can take the centre of that out, hopefully without it breaking. Nice and gently. So there we have it, the depth of our, down to about there for the depth of our candle. I'm thinking this is a little bit big, so I'm just going to turn this down a little tiny bit. I'm just going to take some thickness off of that to start with. Just moving some of this waste off of here. Just want to take that around a bit further, I think. Trying to make that as much of a ball as I possibly can. So I'm trying to match them up. Trying is the key word. So this one is a little not quite as bulbous as that one, but gonna have to go. Just gonna put a little bit in there. So this one's not quite as big as the top one, but so now we need to just take this down a little bit. Just going to put a little bit of a round on now. So we need a parting tool just to put our parting little edge in here. So we're going to take this down, and this is the bit that's going to go into our base. So we're going to slight undercut on that so it sits tight on the front edge. We're going to take that down to a good size. So we'll take that down to about 20 millimeters. We'll take that down to about 20 millimeters. That'll give us a decent size to glue into. It's just under 20 millimeters, so that'll do. And then we'll just refine this a little bit. Just take that sharp edge off of there. So we're ready to sand that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the tailstock while I sand that. Just to give that a little bit of support, because there's a little bit of vibration on there. So we're going to start with a bit of 120. go. So that's the final sand. So I'm just going to blow the dust off of it. And then we're going to get some sealer on it. Then we're going to get some colour on it. So let's get some sand and sealer on it. Give it a couple of coats of sand and sealer, just to seal it up well. Got a dry bit of wood really. That's all sealed now. So we just need to let it dry up a little bit. So I think we're going to do some gold on there. So I'm going to use this calligraphy ink that I bought the other day, or I got the other day, should I say. So I got this calligraphy ink the other day from the range. Pete from Twisted Trees was using the red on a piece he was doing the other week. So I went and got some. This is the gold. I think I'm going to give this a coat of gold. And we'll see how it comes out. This will be the first coat. I think it's going to take a couple of coats to be honest, but this will be the first coat. It's a bit off my. Just turn that lathe on slow. And we'll get a brush effect with doing it like this. Which would be nice. So I'll leave that to dry. Maybe do the bottom the same, do you think? Yeah, maybe the bottom the same. Try and get a nice tight line in there. So we'll let that dry. Then we'll give that a second coat. Question is, what other colours? I've got red, blue, and silver. We could do the ball red and these two bits silver, maybe. So this is the red one. This is the silver one. It's got like a double security tape over that one. So we'll do, I think the ball and this bit, no, the ball in silver, I think. And then we'll do the other two bits in red, I think. Running out of brushes. Do with a bit thicker one, really. That'll have to do though. So make sure we give this red a good shake. Go back to our gold. The gold. So now we'll do a bit more silver. Just have to build up the colours gradually to get them the depth we want. Just keeping the brush wet enough so they blend in. Don't keep it wet enough, they won't blend in very well. So that red is such a nice red, such a vibrant red. just dry that. I don't know what to do that colour there. Do a little bit of silver on there. I'm going to do a little bit of silver on there and see what happens. So I'm just going to get a hot air gun and just dry that off a little bit whilst rotating. Don't get too close because we don't want them to blister. I'm just spraying a little bit of warm air. Oh, excuse me, a little bit of warm air over them. Right, so they're dry, so we're going to go over them again. This should be the final time. So that should be enough gold. Well, for this one anyway. So then the silver. Just a little bit on there. And then finally the red. Do I? Don't I? I'm thinking about putting just a little rim around there, but I'll go for it. Just a little red rim around there, just to finish that gold off. Right off. What I'm going to do now is, just to protect those colours, I'm going to give it a coat of acrylic gloss lacquer, just to protect those colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to protect my lathe, or my chuck, shall I say. I'm just taping this up. And I'm also just going to put a cloth. Let's move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. Move this down here out of the way. And I'm also going to put. Should need that ball back now. I'm going to put a sheet over my lathe as well. I'm just going to give it a coat of acrylic gloss lacquer. Just to protect those colours. So I'm just going to let that dry off, and then we'll come back and do the base. This has now had plenty of time to dry, so we're going to get it out and then make a start on the base. So we're going to measure how big that tenon is on there, so we know how. I wanted it around about 20 mil, but I think it's slightly under that. It's 19 mil, so as long as we do 19 mil, so we need to part that off so we know where we're going to. We're going to part that off. I part that off. We've just got a little nub on the bottom of that, so we're just going to get a knife and clean that off so that we know that we are good to go. And what I've done is I've put a little tiny undercut on that, so the actual bottom doesn't bang against the bottom of the hole that we put in. So there's our stem. So we'll put that over there out of the way. Get our piece of ash in that we're going to use for the base. That's rubbish. Nearly went in the hole. So a piece of ash we're going to use for our base. First thing we're going to do is just base this off with our bowl gouge. We'll face this off. Here's a flat surface to go to. If you put you on the camera, you can see it helps, doesn't it? So then we'll find our center. Like I say, our hole is, or our stem is 19 millimeters. So we're going to find a Forstner bit as close to that as what we can get. So let's have a look, see what we've got here. 7/8. 3/4 what I really want. So 3/4 a little bit too big. Actually, that might be better. 3/4 is just over 19 millimeters. So that should be good because we'll do that and then we'll have a little bit of glue in it as well. So it should work well. So let's just get our Jacob chuck. We'll just gently drill a hole in there. We'll just check make sure our tenon fits in it. And that is a nice snug fit. So while we've got that in there, we'll mark that, and that'll tell us that that's where our base comes up to. Actually, it's just over the size of the base, but that will be better that way because that'll give us a little bit of a shoulder to push to. So we'll take our Jacob's chuck back out. Put them bits away. So what we're going to do now is give it a little bit of shape. This is way too big, so we're going to lose some size off of this to start with. So we'll just have a look at that and see what that looks like. We don't want the base too big because obviously the candlestick is not too big, so really it wants to be, again, smaller than that. So we'll take a bit more off of there. Have a look at that. I don't want the base too big and chunky. It needs to be fairly delicate. I think by the time I get a little bit of an OG shape on that, that shouldn't be far off. So we'll just run a part until down the back of there. Just get a bit more off of that. That's roughly where we're going to part it. So now we can get some shape and style on that. So we're going to use a little 1/4 inch spindle gouge really, just to get a little bit of a shape on it. I may lose a little bit off of this because I think it still might be a bit too big, but we'll see. So that's where I'm going to go up to. A little bit of a recess in there. I'm just going to put a little bit of a fall on that, like so. So I think that's the shape I'm going to go for. Something simple, because I want I don't want to take it away from the actual stem, so we're just going to put it in and try it, see what it looks like. So that'll go in like that. Something simple, not too flash. So what we'll do is we'll get that sanded up. So we're going to get some Abranet just to sand that up. Start off with 120 and then work our way up through the grits. So we're just going to sand this up to 400 grit. So that's taken up to 400 grit. So we're going to put a bit of sealer on it, just to seal it up before we put some colour on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get this to match the top. So I might paint it, or I might colour it gold, and then just a red bead around it to try and match the top part. So I'm going to put no sealer inside the actual inside bit, because we want the glue to soak into the timber. So we're just going to seal the outside. Just let that dry off a little bit. We're just going to denib it. We should be ready to put our gold on there. So where's our gold? So we're using the gold calligraphy paint again, same as we used on the last bit. Just going to turn the lathe on low. It's going to take a couple of coats like I did before, 2 to 3 coats. Just gradually build up the coats to get that nice deep gold. We can dry that off to speed up a little bit with a hot air gun. Good thing this stuff up dries really quick, this calligraphy ink. So you can get 2 or 3 coats on the short span of time, which is nice. Just another coat. A little bit of a white spot on there that I'll try not to get rid of. So just drying this off with a hot air gun, and then we should be about ready to maybe give it the final coat. Stop there and have a look. So I've just got a little bit of a white line there for some reason. I don't know if that's because it's so dense it won't soak in properly. Just try and get that final coat. Try and cover that white bit up. Which it won't cover. I reckon it must be a dense bit of wood and it's just a little bit. Maybe just laying the brush onto it, so why it's wiping it off I do not know, but that will do, I think. So we'll just dry that off finally. So that is all dry now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little red line around that to match the top, and that should give us a nice defined line to match our piece on over a bit. So I want to go, don't want a huge line on there, so I want a little bit of hair like so, and I think a little bit, oops, just on this bit here like that. I think that'll be enough. Hopefully that's going to match our top. I'm just going to dry that off. And I think we are ready to glue or part it off and glue our other bit in. Again, I'm just going to give that a quick coat of acrylic sand and sealer just to seal those colours in. So they're all nice and dry. So I'm just going to give it a quick coat of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow across that way because I don't really want any in there, but I'm going to do it so hopefully we just get a bare brisk cover on the edge. Just to give it a little bit of a sheen and just to seal those colours in. Just check see if it's dry. It's not quite dry. Perhaps a little bit heavy. I've gone a little bit heavy-handed on that. So all we've got left really to do now is to part it off, and then we can glue them together. So I'm going to go nearly all the way through with the parting tool. We're going to take a little bit of a relief out there. Just a little bit of space at the back. Got a horrible thought. I've actually gone deeper with the hole than what I should have done. So we'll see if it goes all the way through when I get that far. Don't know if I've gone too deep with the force a bit, so but I think we're below the force a bit size, so I think we're all right. I'm trying to put a slight undercut on that, so oh no, we're all right. We're all right. So there's our base. So we've got that little nib on the bottom there, so I'm just going to get a knife and trim that off. Obviously the base needs sanding, but for the purposes of this video, that will do. So that's going to sit in there like that. So it gives us a nice little finish line. So let's get that out of there. Let's get that out of there. Let's take this piece out of here. So all we've got left to do really is to bring our board back and glue those together. So it's going to get a little bit of wood glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of wood glue in there. Don't need a massive amount. Like so. Going to get a stick. Actually, let's get a brush. Just brush that around inside there. just on that outer wall. Like that. Push that together. Now, within 40 minutes or so, that will be, excuse me, that will be nice and firm. But as the video goes, there is our 2-part turning. So let's get something to stand it on so you can see. Let's have a look what we got. Oh, this will do perfect for that. So there is my 2-part turning. So a nice little candlestick. Say it could be anything to do with 2 parts. Hasn't got to be a candlestick. Can be a pot. Can be a platter with a stand. It can be a decorative piece. Can be whatever you want it to be. But that is my interpretation of a 2-piece turning. So let's go over to this camera, back to this camera here. Let's turn these cameras off. This one on. Right, so there you go. That's my 2-piece turning. As again, like I just said, it could be a pot, it could be a platter on a stand, it could be a 2-piece goblet, it can be anything to do, or anything as long as it's got 2 pieces to it that are obviously glued together or fixed together somehow. So anyway, that's my interpretation. Obviously your interpretation could be totally different, and it's all about your interpretation to the hashtag weeks. So that's mine. So anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed. Like I said, sorry I'm not here live, but hopefully the video will be okay. It will hopefully be less than an hour and a half. I'm going to do it so everything's involved in it. I'm not going to edit anything out. There will be fades in, obviously, because I've stopped the camera, started the camera in between processes. So other than that, there you go. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy. Look forward to seeing your pieces. As always, send them to skkrafts@btinternet.com. Other than that, have a great week. Take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now.
That's all, folks.